Hi guys! This time I want to design and 3D print a bracket for my external SSD housing I have in use. Why is a bracket required? Well, the SSD housing is not able to transfer the heat which is generated by the high-speed SSD inside. This results in speed throttling and even cutoffs. So my idea is to optimize the natural airflow around the housing. Okay, I used the 3D CAD tool to design this bracket here. It is a kind of a table, so the SSD is raised from the ground. That should already help to improve the airflow. But when I think about the efficiency of the airflow, it is probably low, because the airflow is kind of blocked by the extended table surface, and the extended table surface is definitely required for mechanical stability. Let's have a look on an airflow simulation. I've made a flow simulation. You see the simplified design is laying on its side in the wind tunnel. The air flows from the left to the right. Blue represents low air speeds, red represents high air speeds. We can see that it is as assumed. The lower section of the SSD housing gets almost no airflow. You can see that the dark blue areas with the low wind speeds covers about the lower 30% of the longer side. That is not good. I need to change this. Do you appreciate my videos? Then you kind of owe me a small donation. Just send it via PayPal, please. For details, see the end card. Okay, I have optimized the design. I've cut out the inner part of the table surface to allow a nearly unobstructed airflow. But for mechanical stability, I have added some beams here. I like the design so far. Let's have a look on the airflow simulation for the new design. Now, the air flows smoothly around the SSD housing. The cooling by the natural airflow should be as good as possible now. Yeah, that's the model here in the Prusa slicer. Yeah, that looks good so far. So, yeah. But a problem I see here is that I have these free hanging parts, like here. Because, yeah, obviously the 3D printer cannot print into the air, so some kind of support needs to print it under here. But let's see how it looks then. Okay, well, that's really a lot of support here. I mean, look how he prints that, or intends to print that here in steps, and not by following this line here, this diagonal line. And if I see it here from the side, it's solid underfill or support. And yeah, to my experience, it takes a lot of time to print all these support structures, and it's also hard to get it off. I mean, let's see if there is another option. Let's see, infill skirt support material, there it is. Let me see what have they have for options. So options for support material and draft, style, grid. Let's see how snug looks. Okay, let's go back to the page. Okay, now we have to slice it again. There it is from the side. It looks the same. But oh, okay, here, see. Now the support follows these diagonal structures. That looks better. Less support, less time, less struggle to get the support off after the print. But I've seen there's another option. Let's try that. It's organic. Well, let's see what it does. That looks funny. Okay, he then prints all these single blobs. That's really funny, but I don't know. I don't think this will work pretty well here, because here you see that he builds a blob here every, I don't know how much millimeters, but there is a gap here. And again, he cannot print into the air. I think that there is not enough distance between the bed and the upper structure, so he is probably in struggle. Yeah, okay. I don't think that this will be a good option in this case here. So, yeah, I wonder if there is a way to avoid the support at all. Let me see. Let's get rid of that support material. Yeah, and I think it's always a good way to think about the model. If there's a way to tilt it or flip it, to lay it on a side so that you can print it without support, because the structure keeps contact to the heat bed all the time. But in this case it's like a table, and with these connecting rods here, there is no chance. So the only thing I have in mind is that I get rid of these feeds, and that I print the feeds separately, and then I just glue it onto the structure. I mean, it's 4 feeds. That shouldn't be a problem, and it should avoid these hassles with the support structure, and especially with the detachment of the support structure, because it should look nice. And when I think of it should look nice, I should consider if it's useful to activate the ironing option, but there is not much flat area here to the top, so I don't think this will make a difference. So I think I will do that I get rid of the feeds and print them separately and glue them on afterwards. Okay, I have changed the design, so the table legs are printed separately. There we have it. That looks good again, and also the feet here look good. And I have placed them pretty close to each other, because I think that's better, because when they would be separated, by a larger distance, then, yeah, for example, if the distance would be from that feet to that feet here, it's a larger travel distance, and then the nozzle has more time to, cause stringing issues, because then the filament has more time to, creep out during the travel time. And my idea is that, the travel time, if the travel time is so short, and it is to travel this short distance here, then it should be more or less an issue. But yeah, we will see that. Anyways, we now have really everything laying flat on the table, so there should be no support structures necessary. Let's see, let's slice that. And yeah, it looks good so far. Let's see if the support material option is activated. Yes. So yeah, obviously the slicer does not see the necessity to make support structures. So everything is like intended. So I can, think if all settings are good. Just wonder, the infill. Oh yeah, there you see it, yeah. I use these triangle patterns, but yeah, the structure has so less volume. He just simply doesn't use it pretty much, but that's okay. Okay, anyways, so yeah, that's then the result in detail here. And here again, you can see there's some stringing, but it's not so severe. I think I can just rip that off here. A pair of pliers. Yeah, this one too here. I mean, it doesn't harm, but yeah, it's cosmetic failure. Yeah, okay, that's good enough. And yeah, most importantly, yeah, that is the external SSD I use here, and let's see if it fits one side and the other side. And yes, as you see, it does fit. That's good. Yeah, but now I need to glue on the table feet. And for this, yeah, I first decrease the surface here, and yeah, then I just glue it on. Yeah, and I've got some sandpaper here as well. Yeah, just to sand the parts where I glue the feet on, because then the glue just sticks better to the surface, because that surface here is the surface that was laying on the glass heat bed, and the glass heat bed is pretty smooth, and so is the surface. Okay, I think that's enough. Just the feet as well. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, now to the cleaning. Yeah, I've got some isopropanol here and a rack, and with that I just wipe it a bit down. The feet as well. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so I now just have to let it dry out the isopropanol, and then I can glue it.
One eternity later.
Okay, I think that is sufficient, so I can apply the glue. And then apply it to the table as accurate as possible. Yep, that looks good. Second one. Okay, pick it with a pair of pliers because that's easier. Come on, glue, come out. Yeah, that's good, that's good. Not too much glue. Okay, again, align it, and then I apply it. Just correct it, and then the third one. Come on. Yeah, the glue is a bit older, so it doesn't want to come out easily. But there it is. Okay, again, I try to align it. Yep, it looks good. Yeah, then the last one. Okay, that's enough glue. And again, alignment. And I set it down. Just a little bit of correction. And let's see. Here from the side I see this one is a bit tilted. But anyways, I try to set it on its feet so that the mass of the table pushes down the feet just as needed. I just have to wait a second so that the glue sticks enough that the feet don't fall off. But I think I can risk it now. Okay, looks good. Feet didn't fall off. Yeah, just put a pair of pliers here on it, just to have more mass that pushes down, just to ensure that the glue really sticks good. So now I have to wait at least a couple of minutes. I think we'll give it 30 minutes, and then I come back. Yeah, and because I made the fit not so tight this time, it can fall out. But I'm intending to use a zip tie. Go just under this table, and then I just fix it. Okay, let's put it in the middle here. And there you have it. Now it cannot fall out, and it's fixed. It's great. And now just have to show if the heat dissipation is better this way. But I will kind of end this video here, and if you're not already a valued subscriber, you have now the chance to become one. And if you don't mind, just make a small donation. If you like this video, see the end card for details. I wish you a great time, and stay tuned, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.